transgender movement has really gained a lot of momentum and a lot of attention over the last couple years. It has gone from this far out idea that very few people were even familiar with, something that seemed rather ridiculous in the public eye, to something that is really in the mainstream. Some people have built an entire career off of it. Look at Dylan Mulvaney. He is someone that has created all this fame and success for himself by putting on this mockery and of this show of womanhood. The truth is, transgenderism is the perfect representation of everything that liberalism is. They trick you into thinking that it's all out of love, right? They make you feel bad for going against it. They mock you. They tell you that you don't belong in society. They call you evil. They say that you have no heart for these people. But in all reality, when you support transgenderism, you are allowing people to go down a path that results in the highest suicide rate that any group has ever seen. A path that only causes death and despair within the people. A path of unhappiness and unfulfillment. It is an inversion of reality, and that's what liberalism really is, and that's what it always has been. And we are really seeing it evidently with this transgender movement. The left oftentimes likes to make this argument that the reason the trans suicide rate is so high is because of all this bullying that they go through, about how they aren't accepted as the opposite sex by us conservatives. But that's just untrue. Bullying does not result in a 40% attempted suicide rate, a rate that is higher than Jews in the Holocaust or any other massively discriminated group. You look at the blacks in the early 1900s, suicide rate much, much, much lower. Why is this? Because bullying doesn't result in that. I'd argue that the average black person has it much worse than the or in the early 1900s than the transgender person has it today. Yet you still have the suicide rate lower because it's not the bullying that does it. The thing that does it is the mental illness that comes along with the trans ideology, especially when you destroy your own body to achieve this perfection of what you feel your body truly is. Even after these people actually transition, you see the suicide rate is consistent. It doesn't go down. A very well done and very thorough study was done in Sweden. It was, I believe, a 15-year follow up, and they saw the suicide rate. It is still massively higher than any other group. It doesn't go down. And this is, of course, because no matter how much you mutilate your own body, you can't just switch your gender. You have a role. And when you're not fulfilling that role, you feel unfulfilled. Man and woman were put here on this earth with distinct purposes. We are different, of course, right? From the beginning of time, we had different roles, we had different jobs that we had to accomplish. And we feel the best when we are able to embrace these roles and do our work and do it well. The most fulfilling thing a man can do is get married and take care of his family. The most fulfilling thing a woman can do is raise children and really watch them grow up and take care of her husband. That is the point of each gender. We are supposed to take care of each other. Man is supposed to provide while woman is supposed to nurture. But what transgenderism does is it strips people away from these roles. It switches them out of it. But you can't really be fulfilled getting switched out of your role. That's just not how it works. There was once a time when there were could just be feminine men and masculine women. There were tomboys, but those are gone now. Those have been erased, eradicated essentially, because these people are convinced that they should just mutilate their bodies, and that's how they'll truly feel at home and at peace. What these people really need is help. They need to go to therapy and get talked out of doing this. And you know what? There's something way better than family, or excuse me, therapy. They need to talk to their family. Their family can do so much more. What we need to start doing is helping our brothers and sisters, and we need to tell them, look, you can't mutilate your body to feel better. That's not going to help anything. This transgender ideology is just BS. It's an inversion of reality. And like I said before, that is what liberalism does. They lie to you, they convince you that this will make you happier. They tell you, hey, you know what? Take a bite from this apple, right? Take a bite from the apple and it'll be so much better on the other side. There's so much more you can achieve if you just put down these gender roles and put down these things that were given to you by God. Take a bite of the apple. Don't do that. It is not better on the other side. What you are releasing is a world of pain and suffering. You are bringing death upon yourself by destroying your body. Transgenderism results in death, mass death. And now, today, we are pushing it onto young people. We are pushing it upon these kids, right? I mean, we can look at the story of Jazz. I made a video about him not too long ago. And at 4 years old, he was transitioned into a girl. And we can see his life has completely fallen apart now because transgenderism isn't about helping. It isn't about making these people feel better. It's this lie, it's a perversion of the truth that just destroys these people's lives. It's not good. There's nothing holy about it. There's not a single good thing that comes out of the trans movement. There's not a single good thing you can get out of gender or sex replacement surgery or this therapy. We can't find a study that thoroughly shows over a long-term period of time a benefit from hormone replacement therapy, from the surgery. You can see the same amount of death. Why? Because the problem isn't that these people are in the wrong bodies, but that they are mentally ill and that nobody is willing to help them. So we need to just start talking with each other. We need to be supportive. We need to tell these people it's going to be all right. And we need to tell them and remind them that they were put in this body by God for a reason and that they need to embrace it. And we need to go back to a time where a man could be feminine and he's still a man. I don't support being feminine as a guy. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's very healthy. I think it will hurt you in the long run. It won't help you in life. But you're better off living as a feminine man than you are as a woman because you can never be a woman. You can naturally be a feminine man, but a man can never be a woman, and that's just the truth. So we got to start putting that down, putting that idea down. Stop letting it onto our kids. And we need to accept truth, accept reality, and stop accepting this perversion because it is destroying our society. It's a slippery slope, my friends, and it'll only get worse from here. We are going to see things get much, much worse. You're going to see a giant increase in this non-binary crap, I'm sure. You're going to see all these new pronouns, and it destroys words, right? It destroys language. Like, what even is a woman anymore? Most people can't even describe it, making the word completely meaningless. They are destroying our language with this perversion of reality. So we need to start putting down the perversion and start fighting back against the trans ideology. That's all I have for you guys today, though. So I'm going to sign off on that note. Like, subscribe, share the video, join the fight. We can only win this together. We can only take back the country together. So I greatly appreciate all the support you guys give me. But I am going to sign off on that note. So long, peace out, and God bless y'all.